Well, don't forget, there's also winter triathlons too that involve
Right?
cross-country skiing and running and such. So, I mean, it really is the combination of three sports. And then there are some athletes who prefer not to get in the water at all. I don't understand them, being a swimmer, but
Right.
but those are the, there's the duathlons, which are you're going to be your run, bike, run as well. That is another option for people out there.
Okay. Kathy, I think you kind of hit on some things, at least some misconceptions people have about triathlon. So I'm glad you addressed those. You said you have about 12 students now,
Mm-hmm.
or 12 people
Athletes.
that you athletes. I'm sorry. Thank you. Athletes. How do you get the best out of those individuals?
Well, it goes back to that part where goes back to like why I started, which is the relationship piece. It's so much about getting to know each athlete as an individual, and figuring out what motivates them. Some athletes are very, very driven, and almost you learn early on when working with them that they don't need a lot of encouragement, but sometimes they need somebody to rein them in because they might overdo things as they're training.
Okay. All right.
Other athletes have very, very busy lives with family and career and all of that, and it's helping them juggle how to fit everything in, and that they appreciate that piece, and then they like the accountability that comes along with having a coach. And then, there's some athletes that you do have to get after a little bit and nudge and remind them and all of that. So it really comes down to just getting to know each and every athlete individually, and knowing also where their strengths lie in each of the sports, because Lisa is one of my athletes. She's pretty well-rounded. She's strong in all three areas, but sometimes I might need to nudge her a little bit more in one direction or another because of a certain race that she's doing, or the course in a race might be needing a little bit more attention. So while she might be very good at just going out and knocking out all three disciplines every week, I might need to shift her in a direction one way or another too. So it's a lot of it is relationship. A lot of it's also course specific training that they need to do. And again, sometimes it's just also helping them to know when to take a day off, because I don't know, even with Ryan, if he found himself when training that you feel guilty sometimes taking a day off because you feel like you're supposed to be training all the time, but rest is really important in training. And if you don't let your body rest and recover, you're not ready for the next training session.
And Kathy, when you started your coaching, how many athletes did you start with? Did you have a base of athletes started right when you started balanced triathlon training?
Good question. No, I actually started with just, I had 2 at the beginning, my first year, because I wanted to, I guess, kick the tires, make sure I knew what I was doing. And, that was a great place for me to begin. And then it grew very organically through recommendations and from athletes and things like that. And I will say those 2 athletes that started back with me in 2012 are still part of the group and still working with me, and we're training for Ironman Mont Tremblant this summer. So keeping them busy for sure.